Welcome to Fit by Feel. Today we're going to do some hopping for balance, stability, proprioception, which is body awareness and awareness of where you are in space, and self-trust. So we're going to start out with thinking about your alignment, okay? Because if you're hopping, right, you don't want to collapse the knee. It's really going to hurt after a while. And you also just won't be as efficient and effective. So you want to think about you're not pronating, not letting your ankles fall in, or supinating too much, letting your ankles be too far out. You want to stack your ankles right above the middle of your foot, stack your knees right over your ankles, stacking your hips there, and hips level, okay? So I tend to pop my left hip out, right? So you're thinking about leveling the hips, making them horizontal to the ground, right? And that's really activated by your glute medius. So just a little detail there. So level hips, and now I'm gonna do a slow-mo, okay? So we want, when we go, actually, I'm doing the hard one first, so we're gonna do two legs. So when I drop down for my squat to jump, right? I wanna make sure my knees aren't collapsing in, okay? Hi Eddie. I wanna make sure my knees are flowing out over my ring toes. Depending on everybody's alignment and body structure is a little different, right? But bottom line, you're not collapsing in. I want to make sure my feet stay aligned, they're facing nice and forward, so my feet are not splayed out, they're not splayed in, right? And don't worry about knees over toes, right? That just means you're working your quads a little harder. So if you want to, you could squat back a little bit more and work your glutes more. It's up to you. But when you hop, I want to feel my calves engage. I want to feel my arches actually first, more than anything. I want to feel the arches of my feet engage, my calves, my quads a little bit at the top, and my glutes, really, to get that extra boing, okay? Oh, and your deep core. Okay, so if I'm like, right, all loosey-goosey and my core is not really engaged, my torso's heavy and it's not stacked above my hips, right? So we're talking about alignment and stacking. So you want to stack your torso, but that means you've got to have a nice straightish, as straight as the spine should be, spine, means you want to have your deep core engaged. That means your transverse abdominis, your multifidus, your erector spinae, all of these muscles that do not make up the six-pack that we all want, right? But that are so important for nice posture and healthy living and effective movement, right? So engaging your core all the way through the movement, but especially at that top point, okay? All right, so we're gonna go down and we're gonna go boing. And we're just gonna go in place, boing, 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 boing. Feel your body, feel your muscles working, feel your toes be the last thing to leave the ground and the first thing to touch again. All right, and now we're gonna change direction. So we're gonna go forward, and we're gonna go back, and we're gonna go forward, and we're gonna go back. And you're feeling what's easy, what's hard. Now I'm gonna go side to side. Where do I jump farther? Where do I not jump as far? What leg is pushing off the ground more than the other? Okay, all these things are things to keep in mind and be aware of. Proprioception, stability, and self-trust, right? So am I hesitant as I want to jump to the left or to the right? Is there one that you question a little bit more? You question your landing. All right, now we go to single leg, okay? This is where the mental game gets a little more challenging. So single leg, my right leg's a little bit stronger than my left leg, so I'm gonna start with that leg. Gives me the confidence in myself and the trust in myself to then go to my harder leg and be a little bit more aware and give myself a little bit of a break too, right? All right, so single leg, we're gonna hop in place and do both legs, obviously. Then we're gonna go forward, back, and back. If I'm a little wobbly on my less strong leg, I'm gonna stand there, breathe, and get my stability before I move on to the next hop. Just like that. And back. All right, now we're gonna go side to side. So make sure you're on a flat-ish surface first. Big part of Fitness by Feel is that we're out in nature and breathing the fresh air, enjoying the sounds. and working on uneven terrain. But start on evenish terrain to give yourself a break and get the feel for, get your baseline feel of your body and how your body's working with these hops. So hop and hop and stabilize and hop and hop and hop and hop. And as I get warmed up, right, I get a little bit more stable. All right, left leg, I'm gonna maybe choose a little bit weirder ground. Yeah, a little bit, it's a little muddy, right? I have a little slip and slide possibility. And as I feel wobbly, that's a really uneven surface. I take my time. Feel where your weaknesses are coming from, right? Like, I know that I want to work on my stabilization, my lower leg specifically, but that my left glute also needs a little bit of work. So notice what areas of your body have to work really hard as you're wobbling, and then you can go target those areas. So notice what judgments come up too, right? Like, I'm filming this video, I'm wobbling, I'm falling all over the place, and I'm like, oh my gosh, all these YouTubers, people, and viewers are gonna see this, right? So what comes up? Like, can you just be okay with that in this moment? Can you let it flow through you, right? Are you afraid you're gonna hurt yourself? And granted, like, be safe also. But if it's really just a mental fear, like, explore that a little bit and maybe go back and make it slightly easier, you know, go back to that flat ground or that, you know, not muddy ground, and do smaller jumps. Make it easy. And then when that feels good and you're trusting, you're like, oh, I can do that. Okay, I built some confidence up. Then go make it a little farther. Go to the less strong leg. Go back, make a box. Go diagonally, make a different pattern. Mix it up. Hopscotch. Anyway, play with it, explore your mind, breathe in the fresh air, and have fun. And I'll see you soon.